I've made it to Florida, where there's nearly 10 million acres of swamps with over 1 million alligators lurking throughout the vast wilderness. I'm here hoping to bring home one. On this trip, I brought my Seahawk spear and left my bow at home. What's up, guys? I just made it to South Florida with Daniel and my dad and Townsend Sons ranch. So this is a private property. We're here in July and he has some tags to fill for alligators. He has been setting up trail cameras for big alligators that have been taking livestock and pets, a bunch of baby fawns all over his property, and he finally got a big 10-foot plus, we're estimating, on camera. So just got here, hurried up and changed. It's the afternoon, so we're gonna climb up in a tree and see if he comes out to eat the bait. And if he does, I got my spear and hopefully I get him. During the dry seasons, when the water levels are low, the alligators congregate to a remote property that my guide has access to. Daniel has baited the gators and has set up covert cameras for several days in hopes of locating a monster. And after looking at the cameras, I could see that this was going to be unlike anything I've ever done. The alligator's meat and hide is very valuable, so nothing goes to waste. Since alligators are cannibals, Daniel even uses the bones to bait more gators. Airboats and ATVs are pretty much the only way to cover ground in the swamp. If you want a monster swamp gator, well, you gotta go where they live, and that's where Daniel was taking us. Alligators spin to tear the flesh free from their victims. Fresh meat doesn't last long in the swamp. Even the birds were destroying it. As soon as I saw the first gator, my adrenaline started to go through the roof. You could tell they were on the hunt as they slowly emerged from beneath the water. As they were thrashing and ripping at the bait, all I could think was to stay steady and not make any quick movements. I slowly raised my spear and thought to myself, this is it. The gators hit good and the spear went in deep, but I decided to anchor the monster with a second spear just to be sure. I got 2 spears in there. Oh, huge! Holy crap. I got 2 spears in there. Well, I can't believe it. But I got it done. Holy crap, that was such a crazy experience, like a one-in-a-lifetime experience. Daniel was explaining to me on the car ride here, you're never gonna see anything like this, seeing an alligator that up close and personal. He was just ripping and tearing on the bait. It was crazy, it was insane.
You couldn't have placed a better shot, so.
I know, I was practicing beforehand. My dad called me and he said, you have to get out here. You're gonna lose your mind when you see these big alligators. And what happened, this big old 10 feet, we're estimating, came up, grabbed the bait and was ripping and twirling, and all I could think about is my spear in place? Am I gonna fall in the water? I better not, because my life would probably be over after that. It was so aggressive, came in, was spooking all the little gators around, and holy cow, look how fat he is. And look at all the little divots. You call them, what do you call these,
really
Daniel?
Healthy. These are scoots.
Scoots?
They absorb the sun. So the gators, they need energy from the sun because they're cold-blooded. So
They're like solar panels,
Yep.
he was telling me earlier, because that's why when they lay out when the sun's high, they're getting all that heat and staying warm since they're cold-blooded creatures. But they're
it also acts like an armor, you know. So if you'd have hit that with your spear, you know, it'd have been hard to get through.
yeah, for
But-
sure. They're a lot different than deer or boar or anything that you're trying to spear hunt with because they're so rock solid. You have to hit them in the right spot. And I knew back in here that it was gonna be nice and thinner than the rest of his body, and put all my might behind it, let it rip. Well, Danny, we did it. You put me on a big gator. I am so thankful and happy that this even happened. I even got the opportunity to come out with you.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you. We've been watching these big gators for a couple weeks now. We set some baits out, put the trail cameras up. They work great. Seen some big gators come in, and Sydnie and Tim got the job done.
Hung a stand
Yep,
right where
we
you
hung
thought
our-
they would
We
come.
hung our muddy stand, put our covert cameras out, and the rest was history. But we're so happy to have you and Tim down hunting with us, and you guys definitely helped us out removing some of these big gators from the area. Now we won't have as many missing calves and dogs around here, you know. So.
Yeah, fawns. These guys will tear up anything, and they're vicious. But wow, this is once in a lifetime. If you want to do this, I highly recommend it. Come with Danny and come to Townsend Sons Outfitters, and they'll put you on a big gator.
Absolutely.
Come out here, bring your spear. I highly recommend it. It's a
We have
adrenaline rush.
365 days a year, private lands, and we have plenty of tags, so come on.
And hot girls.
That's right. Plenty of those too. It's Florida.